Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft, thanking you for joining us, whether you're watching on TV, listening on the radio, or joining along on the web on our website on civiccentertv.com and across our social media. We appreciate you taking your time to get to know all of what's going on across the Greater West Bloomfield area. Our top story today surrounds a local icon, that being the late Florine Mark, who is, of course, the renowned former CEO and president of Weight Watchers, a longtime Detroit TV and radio personality who, over the years, collected an extensive collection of art, jewelry, and, of course, those amazing suits we saw her wearing all throughout Metro Detroit and beyond for all of those years. Now that collection could be, in part, yours, thanks to her estate sale happening all throughout this weekend, and a business from right here in Keego Harbor is being entrusted in navigating and coordinating the late Florine Mark's estate sale. Joining us for more information on undertaking that lofty task is the owner of Le Shop Modern in Keego Harbor, Deborah Slobin. Deborah, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us. I'm also here with my business partner, Terry Stern, Detroit Fine Art Appraisers, and yes, here we are in the home right now.
Yeah, two experts in consignment and auctions who are really based right out of our community here, and that's really the perfect opportunity to have someone from within the Greater West Bloomfield area here in Metro Detroit operating this sale for someone that has been in all of our lives for all of these years, like Florine Mark. For the two of you as business owners in this area, what's this moment like for you to be having the big responsibility of running this estate sale?
Honor and a privilege to be able to bring Florine's clothes and her home goods and everything in the art, or kind of beautiful piece of art here right now, to the community. And the family really wanted that opportunity for people to own a little piece of Florine because she was such a wonderful philanthropist in the community. She helps women in business, and we're just honored to be able to do that.
So when you got the word, when her family had reached out to you and her state had reached out to you and said, we want you guys to lead this sale, what was your initial plan in trying to put all these really remarkable collections that she had in so many facets together in a way that was going to be attractive to shoppers and really be kind of a tour through the life and the art and the love of Florine Mark?
Right. So our first thought when we walked in was, wow, overwhelmed. Okay, now let's get down to business. And how do we best present her amazing collection to the community where they can have fun and, as Terry mentioned, bring a piece of Florine home to their own homes. You know, everyone here is coming here today and before getting ready for the estate sale, all had a really beautiful story to talk about Florine, how they all wanted to come in here and find a special piece of hers they could memorialize her, you know, and have near them all the time. So it's been a labor of love. It's been a lot of work. It's been months and months of organizing and getting it set up. But here we are. We got through day one.
Wow.
It was a line out the door you would not believe. Never, ever stopped. And it was a blast. we're exhausted, or it's a blast.
Day two and the weekend ahead also for this estate sale right here in the nearby area. It's over in Farmington Hills, but she had such an impact on our community here in Greater West Bloomfield, including where you all call home over in Keego Harbor. And this is kind of just a microcosm of what you do across all of our communities and throughout this local area. But let's take a moment to talk about your shop kind of in general and some of the services that you provide and really why Keego Harbor is that great central location for you to be placing all these works for people all across our community and beyond.
Wow, you really get what we do. Thank you. Yes, we have a huge 30,000 square foot showroom, and there we're able to showcase and house people's collections from around the community of beautiful art and fantastic collectible furniture and sculptures. And of course, Terry here is in charge of bringing in amazing art for her clients for us to sell and for the auction house, right? So yes, we have 3 separate businesses all under one roof. We have our wonderful consignment store. We have our estate sale business, like today. We also have our auction house. And they all kind of play really well together. And they all kind of feed each other into the business. And so it gives our clients a much broader, a bigger opportunity to sell their pieces than just, say, an estate sale, right? They can also do consignment, auction, or do all 3.
Right. We've had about 30 countries that we've sold to so far.
Yeah.
And it's a remarkable feat, and to do that out of the small town of Keego Harbor. It's a close-knit community, but they really do also support their local businesses of all different sizes. And considering the level of work you do, as you said, international, what is that connection that you have to the city that you're in with Keego Harbor? And how does that also kind of play into being able to branch out locally and beyond in our community and connect it back to us here in Greater West Bloomfield?
So we participated in a lot of like shop local programs through the community. We have the wonderful mayor has been to the store and he comes and he supports us. I see on Facebook all the time. We're members of the Keego Facebook. And people just supporting us. It's just been really great. Really, it's a lovely community. The rent prices are very affordable still in Keego Harbor. So it gives us, that's why we have such a big showroom.
Right,
so it
right.
gives us a really great opportunity.
We were looking to possibly at one point going someplace else. You know what? Where else could we be this centrally located for all of our clientele, right? Have this much of a large space, which we need. You know, we aren't just selling clothes. We're selling big piece of furniture. We need a big profile for that, right? So having that kind of space in Keego Harbor has been amazing. And they've been wonderful to work with. We've been there now for over 10 years. And we keep getting bigger and bigger. We first went there, we had a little tiny shop over there. And then we said, we need a bigger boat to take over more and more and more of the building. So now we pretty much, have probably 80% of the building now, and hopefully get to grow and expand more.
Deborah Slobin and Terry Stern from Le Shop Modern are with us on the Splash Live. A lot of excitement around their business at this time of the year, especially as they're operating many estate sales around the local area, including one for Florine Mark running all throughout this weekend. You can find more information on that in a couple of places. Their website, leshopmodern.com. That's LESHOPPE modern.com, or find them also on Facebook at Le Shop Modern. Deborah, Terry, while we're on the topic of shopping local, this is the time of the year where it's arguably the best time to be doing that. People looking for some interesting gifts to give out during the holiday season as they have family and friends coming in, or those maybe attractive pieces that are eye-catching and conversation starters to kind of get that conversation going during the holiday season. Why should they start maybe with their shopping at this local business in Keego Harbor?
A couple of the key words are unique. What we have is not mass produced, right? They're all one-of-a-kind pieces. A lot of them are either local artists from past times, or I think the fact that I said it's got vintage, it's got retro, it's different, it's unique, it's quality. It's just, it shows, a level of being, curating a piece for a gift or a present, rather than just kind of going to the store and picking up something that's been mass produced, right? Because you went there, it's been curated for you, you find it, it resonates with you, the person you're buying it for, it's a unique present.
And just to take it all back to what's going on with you right now, the big thing with Le Shop Modern this week and this weekend is, of course, you're running the estate sale for the late Florine Mark, who was an icon in our community. You're on site right now in the belly of the beast at the actual estate sale, an incredible accomplishment for this local business here out of Keego Harbor. So if people want to get in on this, they want to see some of these works, maybe purchase a little bit of those mementos from the late Florine Mark, how can they get involved over the next few days?
Right. So anyways, we'll be here tomorrow and Saturday from 10 until 4, if need be, possibly Sunday as well, too. But I got to tell you, it's been so crazy busy that we're not sure about that. But you know what? There are still so many fantastic pieces here. In fact, the piece behind us right now by a very famous artist named
Victor Vassarelli.
And this was actually hanging in the corporate headquarters when you first walked in of Weight Watchers. It was a very iconic piece as well from an iconic lady. It's beautiful. It's available as well, too. So there are some fantastic pieces of furniture and art and clothing and jewelry. And so looking forward to seeing some new people tomorrow.
And it's a beautiful moment, too, because you get to see these works that were held so closely to Florine Mark now be held closely by other people, and in the same way yourself be able to kind of say goodbye, in a sense, one more time to someone that's had an impact on so many of our lives. What's this moment really like for you because of that connection that we all sort of have in our community to Florine Mark's impact?
Well, I'll say that. I'll let Terry finish up. I will tell you, we have a saying at Le Shop, and it's really, really brought it home for me. Our saying is, we are in the business of recycling the love factor. This person at one time loved this piece, and now they've brought it into our world to have somebody else love it. We're bringing love back into the community, right? And so we feel really honored that Florine, whether she got a beautiful suit or a piece of art or a sculpture, she loved that piece. And now somebody else gets to feel that love and love it themselves too. So it's really about recycling the love factor.
Mm-hmm. It's just been a special moment. The family entrusted us in such a big job, and we are just thrilled to be able to help them and help with some charities that are going to get some part of this. And it's just been, like I said before, such an honor and privilege to do that. We both have met Florine in person, and just knowing that we took care of this for her makes us really happy.
Yes. I mean, your family has been, wonderful. We've actually made great friends with them as well, too. And so it's been just like a continuous blessing for us.
The estate sale of Florine Mark can be found at 3155 Franklin Fairway in Farmington Hills Friday and Saturday, and if need be, on Sunday. For more updates on this, Facebook at Le Shop Modern, or visit leshopmodern.com as well. Terry, Deborah, thank you both so much for your time today, and good luck with the rest of the sale.
Thank you. We appreciate it too. Great talking to you.
Appreciate both of you being on the program with us as well. Really interesting that this is happening nearby our community in Farmington Hills, but is being spearheaded by a company that is close to home here in Greater West Bloomfield. You can't miss it. It's a big building right on the right side of the road as you're heading around the bend on Orchard Lake Road toward Cass Lake in Keego Harbor, and they have been there for years, providing so many amazing works to people across our community, and being part of big estate sales like this one with an icon like Florine Mark. And as Deborah and Terry had said, their mantra is recycling the love factor. You have a chance to take a little bit of that recycled love factor from the immense impact and incredible life of Florine Mark, bring that into your home, and in the process, recycle the love factor back to one of our local businesses right here in the heart of the lakes. And a great story to kick off this episode of the Splash Live. Great opportunities on the way in the coming new year for the kids in our community. Maybe they're looking to take their big ideas and turn them into something incredible, maybe even their own entrepreneurial endeavors going forward. Well, a local business that's all about helping the kids stay active and engaged in this community is providing a little bit of extra help in them pursuing those entrepreneurial efforts. That is Swag Kids Gym, and they have a new entrepreneurial effort going into effect in 2025 that their owner, Ralph Tompkins, joins us now to tell us even more about. Ralph, thank you so much for joining us today.
Tyler, it's always good to see you, man. How's it going?
Doing just fine, and always good to talk to you as well. I want to get into this because this is really cool what you're doing. It's an exclusive program led by you that's helping some other business owners kind of get that kickstart here in our community. Take us a little bit through this entrepreneurship program that you're helping to lead.
Well, first and foremost, man, it's been in my heart to do for a few years now. I started the business of Swag Kids Gym in my early 30s, and it was just, it was really amazing for me to go through all the ups and downs and everything that it really takes to become a business owner and have your own storefront and really determine everything and make everything happen. So I've always wanted the opportunity to reach out to kids and encourage them in many different ways. And now I think what's most important is giving them the opportunity to find their voice, use their mind, and explore different things other than physical fitness and things of that nature. And I want to have an opportunity to give them to where if they want to start their own business or think about starting their own business, really give them the tools and learning tools to success for them to really feel like they can really do it. And kids can do anything they put their minds to. So why not start an entrepreneurship school for those who may have the interest or don't know, or maybe they just want to learn how to possibly create their own business and do things that really encourage them to be the best version of themselves.
And nowadays, whether it's parents, whether it's teachers, whether it's just other adults on the outside looking in on these kids' lives, are trying to find different ways to get them engaged, get them off these devices, outside and playing, using what they're learning in school, what they're creatively thinking, and applying that to something that's productive and helpful to them and to the greater society. But what's really interesting too, Ralph, is that kids really want to take what they've experienced already in their young lives and apply it to something they're passionate about. So, what's been the initial response to this from the kids themselves? What's the interest looking like?
Well, it's been really great. Like when I created that social media post about a week ago, obviously from the parent perspective, they're like, wow, this is incredible. What a great idea. What a fantastic idea. And like you said, Tyler, like kids, they are so smart. They learn so much. They're so creative. So the avenue that we wish to create for this is to pull all of that into one pot. Like, let's use that intelligence. Let's use your creativity and let's put it in a structured setting to where it can be easy to information that they get is easy to understand. And they can really put some real great usage into like, hey, let's learn about what entrepreneurship is, what it takes, the difficulties that you're going to have, the opportunities to mitigate some of the difficulties. And then the cool part about this program, Tyler, is that they're going to actually get the opportunity to put it in play. Like, hey, they get to create their business name. We're going to create a workshop where they can actually sell their products and ideas. So they have that real life experience of where like, hey, like I've created my business. Now what's next? What's next is developing the business. And then once it's developed, I want to put it in front of people and actually have them sell it. So the parents and the kids they're really been really great response for us because again, they understand what it takes as far as the process of creating their own business, but then they actually get an opportunity. And Swag is all about creating opportunities for kids to do anything that they put their minds to and their bodies to. This is just an extension of the original vision. And we're just super excited to have the Young Entrepreneur Program launched in 2025.
Ralph Tompkins joins us on the Splash Live, a local entrepreneur that you know from his time developing and growing Swag Kids Gym right here in the Greater West Bloomfield community, now running an entrepreneurship program to help kids take on some of those same challenges and conquer them like they conquer their challenges in his gym each and every day. And Ralph, combining those two together is kind of a passion project for you, but how can you connect what you do day by day with these younger kids in Swag Kids Gym and ultimately still apply those principles to something a little bit more intricate like this in growing a business for kids of a variety of different ages?
Yeah, well, the great opportunity and challenge for that, Tyler, is this, again, similar to how we do all of our programs, we'll make sure that these kids have the basic understanding of what entrepreneurship is. So we'll have brainstorming sessions. So again, it's very similar in terms of what we do at Swag. We give the kids the opportunity to be the best versions of themselves. So a lot of times it's really it's going to be a similar structure. They're going to get an opportunity to introduce themselves like they do here, share their name and share something that they're passionate about or an interest. So it gives the kids a voice. We're going to give the kids a voice like we always do within the gym, but within the structure of learning. So they'll actually have active team building activities that happen within the gym because, as we know, some kids really love the opportunity to really move and socialize at the same time. So we'll have a little bit of a classroom setting. We're also going to utilize the gym to do team building activities. And sometimes when you're running around or doing different team building activities in groups, that's when that's when your ingenuity really comes in. A lot of times, as you know, for us adults, once we get a good workout in or a good walk or take a break, that's when our ideas really start popping. So it's a great opportunity to really merge classroom learning with kind of like still some active and activities. So like again, this entrepreneurship program is going to be something like people have never seen before. But again, they're going to get the opportunity to get taught at their level, not above it. And we're going to teach to the lowest common denominator kids. We're going to build confidence in them. And then they're going to get the opportunity to showcase everything that they learn and put it in an active learning style. So it's going to be on the display with the expo where they're going to be able to sell their products and sell their ideas and sell their business. And they're going to get to learn in real time what these things are and get rewarded for the work that they put in, which is at the end of the day, every parent wants that for their kids. We want that for the kids. And it's just going to be a great opportunity for them to take a step ahead and really get the steps in and learn exactly what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
And they're doing this at a really young age, because what's unique about this entrepreneurship program is it's right within your wheelhouse of the age groups that you work with day to day. It's not teens that are in high school taking business classes or young adults who are maybe studying business or are building their businesses actively. These are younger kids. So who will this program be available to?
Yeah, so we're still fine tuning it, but my thought processes would be really first grade to like 12 years old. So like 6 to 12, because there's a lot of, yeah, I know. Yeah, 6 to 12 is really the target range for that. And again, like creativeness, intelligence, and aptness and willing to learn, it starts early. So in my mind, why not impart knowledge and wisdom and understanding? This is going to be an opportunity where if they start the program, they could continue to do it on a continual basis because as we know, the world of business is changing constantly. So being able to teach these kids where they're at and then understanding whether they're just learning the entrepreneurship journey or if they've been in our program, once it starts up, if they come back for a following session, it's always just good to refresh on fundamental knowledge of how you start your business, what you do, and you can take it to the next level. So there's really no wasted time. There's only opportunity. Maybe their business even grows and they develop another sector of their business, but it still goes back to the roots of like, hey, what is it? What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? How do I apply it in real time in front of consumers and customers, whether that's in person, whether it's virtually, or being able for these kids to actually be an inspiration to other kids because they see like, hey, my peers developed this business and they learned it from here. Because my friend is here and they're learning it, I want to be a part of that too. So these kids really get the opportunity to be real leaders in their school area, in their neighborhoods, and all over because they're taking the time and the opportunity to learn how business really works. They problem solve, they mitigate, and they create opportunities for growth within themselves. And to me, that's just a win-win all day long.
Ralph Tompkins is spearheading this program out of Swag Kids Gym right here in West Bloomfield. This 8-week entrepreneurial program through Swag Kids Gym will be happening in 2025, ages 7 to 12. More eligibility requirements and more information on this program can be found on their website, swagkidsgym.com, or find them also on Facebook at Swag Kids Gym. Ralph, before we let you go, ultimately, when you get to the end of these 8 weeks, of the 16 hours of information and learning and active learning for these kids, what do you hope that they take away beyond just simply turning their ideas into something live and active?
You know, the biggest thing that I want them to take away from this program is life is definitely a marathon. And the more opportunities that you have to problem solve and figure out what to do and how to do it to make things in your life better, the better you're going to be. As we know, these challenges, issues, opportunities are always going to be there in life. It's just really of a matter of like, how are you going to attack being successful? How are you going to attack the wisdom that you get? How are you going to deal with success? How are you going to deal with failure? And ultimately, can you really be that person that is going to maintain themselves when change happens? And change is going to happen. It's just a matter of planning for it, being prepared, keeping a positive attitude, and going back to what is first, which is like, why do I do what I do, and what is my passion and my purpose? And this entrepreneurship program is one way and a big avenue for them to continue their life journey in different avenues of their life and whatever they choose to do, how to manage expectations and problem solve and be happy and give effort and be okay with failure and knowing that when you fall down, you can't get back up. You just have to figure out how to do it. And that always goes back to why you do it.
It's creative, it's fun, it's using ingenuity. It's all those skills that you're learning in the classroom that you're learning out in life as you're playing with friends and growing up, and it's going to help to extend out to so many areas of their lives going forward. Ralph, thank you so much for giving us insight on this incredible program you got coming in 2025.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you as always. It's always good seeing you. And yeah, keep up with us. It's going to be a revolutionary program. We're working on a lot of big things for it. So thank you for the opportunity.
Appreciate having you on and telling us more about this opportunity. And thank you for giving that opportunity to these kids as we head into 2025. And so many of these young kids, especially in that age group, have a lot of really cool ideas, and they just don't know how to take those first steps. Now they're going to have some of that guidance from somebody in our community who has been in their position before, had an idea for a kids-oriented gym, and has grown that into a staple of the Greater West Bloomfield community. Always good to talk with our friends over at Swag Kids Gym, including Ralph Tompkins. Now, as we get ready for the holiday season and we invite friends and family and others into our homes in the coming weeks and months, we're going to be doing a lot more cooking than maybe we do on a normal basis. So we want to let you know about some of the hazards you may encounter in your home. In fact, it's already happening here in our community. Common hazards like kitchen fires can affect anybody at any time. That happened, in fact, in our community on Thursday, just after 5 p.m. A kitchen fire was sparked in a multi-family home in West Bloomfield. A neighbor intervened initially to try to extinguish the flames and ensure that their neighbors had gotten out of their home safely while first responders were en route to the scene. All 6 West Bloomfield Fire Department stations did respond to this fire. They were able to quickly put it out, and those that were in that home did all escape safely. But with that comes some tips from the West Bloomfield Fire Department as you get ready to cook more meals this holiday season, to do so safely while you spend time with your loved ones from all around our local area and beyond. If you are cooking on the stovetop and you have an open pan, never leave that pan unattended. You want to be watching what's cooking there, because at any time you could maybe start a grease fire or something boils over, and that turns into a whole incident where smoke fills your kitchen or a fire starts, and you got to be able to respond quickly when time is of the essence. Some helpful tools to have along with you: a lid or a cooking sheet can be really helpful if you have an unexpected flame arise. You put the lid over that cover or the cooking sheet over that pan and immediately take the heat off of that area of your stove, and that will hopefully help you put out that fire. Having a fire extinguisher nearby also always going to be a good idea. They do not suggest that you use water, especially if there is a grease fire. You do not want to use water. When you pour that water on, it can splatter, it can spread that grease that's still going to be able to create flame, and that can actually make the problem worse. The best avenue is to cut the heat off from that stove, put a lid or a cooking sheet over that pan, and call a first responder if need be. Also a good time of the year to check those smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms so that in the event of an incident, you are aptly warned and you are able to take those escape plans that you have into action and get out of your home safely. More information and important tips as we go into the holiday season here in Greater West Bloomfield from our friends at the West Bloomfield Fire Department can be found on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department. Speaking of our first responders, some fresh faces coming to the West Bloomfield Police Department, sworn in officially and getting their badges earlier on this week. Officer Aronia Stamps and Philip Todd both receiving their badges after being sworn in by Clerk Debbie Binder earlier on this week after graduating from Schoolcraft's Police Academy. Now, these are familiar faces within the police department already. They're not coming in all fresh and new to West Bloomfield. Officer Todd was previously a dispatcher with the West Bloomfield Police, and Officer Stamps previously served in their public service aid, or PSA, role as well. Both were sworn in this week. Now they're going to undergo some more formal training from within the West Bloomfield Police Department before you start to see them in their regular roles all throughout the community. So if you see Officer Todd, you see Officer Stamps out and about in the coming weeks as they start this new role, give them a welcome to West Bloomfield, welcome back to West Bloomfield, and a congratulations on this new avenue in their career. You can also do that as we speak on their Facebook page at West Bloomfield PD for more information and see all the pictures from their special swearing-in ceremony. The weekend is upon us, and after some gloomy weather throughout this week in Greater West Bloomfield, a little bit of sunshine is on the docket. So you want to get your kids out and about, kind of burn some of that energy maybe that they have built up all throughout the week. There's a great new place, a fresh area for some free play, engaging learning, and more over at Drake Sports Park. Our reporter Jake Schaff looked into that and gives us more information.
Fun and excitement is exactly where it's at right here at Drake Sports Park as their brand new play structure officially opened up for the public. With countless new amenities and several opportunities for family fun, it's no wonder to see this place become such a popular spot just within the last few weeks.
This fall, we replaced the playground at Drake Sports Park. It was 25 years of age. It was time for a replacement. We did about 6 months of thinking and designing, planning to build a new playground. It has a lot of new cool features. Our first climbing tower, rope climbing tower, if you will, that we have in the park system. There are 5 swing bay swing set with 10 swings. A couple of cool things there is we did some face-to-face swings this time that we've never done in the parks, that the little one can sit on one side and mom or dad or grandma and grandpa can sit on the other. So there's like 6 different styles of swings in that swing bay. New stuff is coming out each day with playgrounds, and we incorporated as much as we could in this one.
What's been the response from some of the community members you've spoken to about the new playground?
Very good, very good. They, while we were wrapping up the last week, with final small little details, installing benches and seating and stuff like that, everybody was walking by and stopping. Hey, when can we play? When can we play? We opened up last Friday, I believe it was, and Saturday morning, all last weekend. It was, thank God for this Indian summer, and we've had a lot of people over there playing for the last week.
So what is it like enjoying this brand new play structure with Drake Sports Park?
We love it. It's fun, exciting, new, especially the swings. Those are really cool how they have the double swings. The kids love it because they love swinging with each other, and it's just so nice. It's got a little bit something for everybody, every age. I think it'll bring a lot to the community, and not even just West Bloomfield. We live in Farmington Hills and we love coming here. So I think it'll bring families together. It's nice to Personally, I will tell my mother-in-law, hey, meet us at the park. She lives right down the street. So it's a nice gathering place. It's nice to...
Are you going to be incorporating elements of this playground to maybe some of the other playgrounds in the future?
Yeah, for sure. We have a capital 12-year capital program that we do in the parks that we update every year, and we're going to be redoing some more playgrounds in the future, and we will definitely be coming with the latest and greatest, and maybe even some natural native built native meaning out of some logs and stuff from the trees and things like that, so some nature inspired playgrounds. So yeah, we're always looking to up our game every time we do one.
It's wonderful to see the people of West Bloomfield Parks continuing to do their part in making these parks even better for the community. And from checking out all the smiling faces around here, that's enough confirmation to know it's a job well done. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Appreciate the report, Jake. And look, after seeing all that on the playground, all those fresh amenities and interesting different swings and climbing areas and everything that goes into there. I want to head over to Drake Sports Park and play myself, but it's such a gloomy day and I got work to do here. So, you know what? We'll leave it to you. We'll leave it to the families and the kids to get that playtime in this weekend at that brand new playground over at Drake Sports Park. More information on that, wbparks.org. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty more to get to on the other side, including a new partnership with the West Bloomfield Fire Department that's going to help to save lives of those affected by the opioid crisis right here in our community. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
Hi, I'm Lauren Azuri, the Park Naturally Supervisor for West Bloomfield Parks. Congratulations to you, Civic Center TV, for hitting 1 million views on YouTube. We really appreciate your partnership in spreading nature education in a creative way in our community. I'm Lauren Azuri, proud to be 1 in a million.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you for being with us as always and for keeping up to date with the show on civiccentertv.com and across our social media. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, Instagram, YouTube, and X at Civic Center TV as well. It's something that can affect anybody in our community. The opioid epidemic reaching all corners of Greater West Bloomfield, Oakland County, Michigan, and around the U.S. as well as the world. And so efforts are being made on the hyper-local level in order to help those directly affected by opioid overdoses right here in our community. It's a partnership between the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities, the Oakland County Medical Control Authority, and our West Bloomfield Township Fire Department that began just over a month ago. Joining us for more information on this brand new program is Sergeant Blake Belsky with the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Sergeant Belsky, thank you for being with us again.
Thanks for having me back, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate having you on to talk about this program because it's something that hopefully won't have to be utilized by many, if any, families here in Greater West Bloomfield, but we know that anybody can be affected by opioid overdoses. And so take us through this, because we know throughout our community, the Alliance has put Save a Life boxes that have information and some resources related to reversing opioid overdoses or preventing them. This is a little bit more of a direct effort from our first responders.
So the Save a Life stations are fantastic. They've been around for a few years now, and they have the nasal spray Narcan boxes available. They're all throughout the township. You can go on the ACH the Alliance's website and find out where those Save Life stations are. There are actually a few at the fire stations throughout the township here. They have some additional resources like local substance use treatment resources, and they also have the Deterra medication disposal bags, which are fantastic. But as firefighters and paramedics in the township, we have the advantage, I suppose, of seeing people in their homes and helping identify folks who might need these resources and haven't either thought to get the resources, maybe feel like there's some stigma attached to visiting the fire stations and opening those boxes and getting it themselves, or just not even realizing that they're at risk and that these resources are valuable from a prevention standpoint.
And so how will this be utilized? Because those Save a Life boxes that we talked about, they're distributed throughout the community. Anybody can get access to them. But in this case, these are Save a Life bags that are going to go to people that are really directly affected by this crisis. As like you said, you kind of get that as a firefighter, as paramedics, you kind of got that first-person experience to be able to interact with them and provide these resources. So how will that be executed?
So our paramedics will be in the home, and these are something that the patient or the family can ask for. These are things that the crews can leave behind if they feel that this would be a benefit to the residents. It's a red bag badged with the Save a Life and the Alliance's sponsorship logos here. And it has the same resources that are available in those Save a Life stations throughout the township. It's got the nasal spray Narcan and some cards with additional resources. And this is something that would be left behind. The Oakland County Medical Control Authority has a protocol designed specifically for this Leave Behind program. It allows us to leave Narcan at the home. It's not something that we need to have some sort of special permission. We don't need to make a phone call. If we identify a need, we can leave this behind, and hopefully this will be a benefit to the residents of the township.
And it's important, too, because it's not just those that necessarily have overdose that will be receiving this. It could also be family members that are responding there, that are on scene when an overdose happens, that now has a connected network of people surrounding someone that may have fallen victim to an addiction, maybe battling that addiction. Now they got that support system and these resources. How does that play into, from a firefighter and a paramedic's perspective, helping your team fight this crisis that still even affects us here in Greater West Bloomfield?
Absolutely. And for years now, since the opioid epidemic really took off a few years back, our paramedics, our firefighters have been really, really great at the response portion of battling this epidemic. What we struggled with, because we didn't have the resources, we didn't have the knowledge, was the other really important parts: the education, the prevention, the treatment, and the recovery stuff. And it's the education that now we can be involved in, leaving these resources behind, telling families the signs to look for, telling people who may not understand how dangerous these substances are to them, helping them realize what they're dealing with. People who might not realize that they have a problem, getting them in touch with the resources that they need for recovery and long-term health. The Alliance of Coalitions has really done a fantastic job, and we're so lucky to be partnering with them because the response part that we've gotten so good at with the fire department here is just such a small piece of the overall picture of fighting this epidemic.
Sergeant Blake Belsky is with us from the West Bloomfield Fire Department as they are now embarked on a new program in partnership with the Oakland County Medical Control Authority, as well as with the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities. You can find more information on this effort by visiting alliancemi.org. That is the Alliance's new website, alliancemi.org. And Sergeant Belsky, this is a new program in the West Bloomfield Fire Department, a new partnership with the Alliance and with Oakland County. But how common is this now across other fire departments? We know that you're always in communication, that your departments often are working together on responding in these cases and in others. Is this something relatively new that West Bloomfield is really leading a charge on?
We are. We're very fortunate that the Alliance approached us with this idea. I believe Birmingham Fire Department is also doing a similar program, and that's it. That's it. This is something that I hope really catches on, and I hope other communities see the benefit of involving their first responders in these education and prevention and recovery efforts, because really it's a whole picture. You can't just have one piece of this and hope that we'll be successful. We've got to partner up.
Contrarians may then come back with this and say, well, how is this actually helpful? How does this prevent opioid overdoses or opioid overdose deaths in the future by providing a resource like this? Maybe that's helping them in the moment, but how does that stop, or how does that lead to a stoppage in this? What would your reaction be to someone that's taking that sort of contrarian point of view on a program like this?
My reaction will be rather blunt. It's that dead people can't go to recovery. Dead people don't heal. And we need the resources. We need Narcan in the home. We need it on the street. We need it in the community. we would love for everyone in the neighborhoods to come and get one of these and keep it in their car, keep it in their purse, because we don't know who's struggling. We don't know who's going to need this next. And without it, we can do a great job of showing up when someone calls 911, but sometimes it's just too late. We need people to stay alive so that they can heal. And this is such an important piece of that.
And you're playing an important role in that, as well as are all of our firefighters and paramedics who will be able to distribute these Save a Life bags throughout our community going forward because of this new partnership. Sergeant Belsky, before we let you go, anything else that we should know about this new program or other ways people can get involved in helping our local firefighters prevent these opioid overdoses in the future?
Talking to your friends, talking to your family, talking to your community to make sure everyone you know understands how important it is that they stay healthy. Make sure you understand what's going on in the lives of your loved ones. And if they need help, get them in touch with the resources. If you don't know who else to call, you can call the fire department. We will come out and we will help you in any way we can. And now our toolbox has been expanded thanks to these partnerships.
More information on this program and as well as locations of many of those Save a Life boxes throughout Greater West Bloomfield can be found on alliancemi.org. Sergeant Belsky, thank you so much for your time once again.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you as well. Sergeant Blake Belsky from the West Bloomfield Fire Department. You can keep up to date with them on even more safety tips and resources like these Save a Life boxes all throughout our community here in Greater West Bloomfield on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department, or get in contact with them for even more information or to answer some of your questions about programs like this or other ways that you can help people that may be in need in our community. WBtownship.org would be the place to go for that. Some big things happening at West Bloomfield High School. It is early on in the school year still, and now the first performance of the year has kicked off in the prominent West Bloomfield High School Theater. On Thursday, they came in with an electric opening night performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Yes, Shakespeare on the stage all weekend long over at West Bloomfield High School, including a Friday showing at 7 o'clock, Saturday showings with a matinee at 1 o'clock that will include American Sign Language interpreters, and then their finale Saturday night at 7. Here are some pictures from their first night of performances that you can see on CivicCenterTV.com. You can also see those on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield School District and get more ticket information. So that if you want to see this Friday night show or some of their shows on Saturday, you can get those tickets and see Shakespeare right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools for more information, and on other programs in theater across the West Bloomfield School District. You can always keep up to date on those programs on WBSD.org. Our community may have a special small town feel, but our history is quite extensive, and you may not know that from just living and going about your day-to-day life across Greater West Bloomfield. But those that have explored our history with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society knows we've got a lot of stories from across the years and across our community that have played a role in where we are today. And now you can play a critical role with with Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. They are seeking new volunteers to get involved with their organization. Passionate volunteers for 2025 and beyond to collect memories from today and to tell the stories of yesteryear from West Bloomfield, Keagle Harbor, Orchard Lake, and Sylvan Lake. There are plenty of opportunities that are available, and your time commitment doesn't have to be set in stone. You don't have to give a ton of time. You don't have to give a set amount of hours in order to volunteer with them. It's all based on what is available to you and how much you want to put in to helping our local Historical Society. If you want to explore volunteer opportunities, you can either contact them now as we speak, contact@gwbhs.org, or call them at 248-757-2451. Again, 248-757-2451, or wait a couple of weeks, join them out at the Orchard Lake Museum for a little more of an in-depth look into volunteer opportunities. That's going to be happening Wednesday, December 11th at 7 p.m. at the Orchard Lake Museum. That's on the corner of Orchard Lake Road and Long Lake Road right here in our community. In the meantime, you can also follow along for more special events, historical notes, and more on Facebook at GWBHS. And it's a great opportunity to get involved, too, as we were able to talk earlier on this week with one of their volunteers, one of their longtime members, Charles Packer, about his experience exploring our local history and why engaging with that local history is so important for all of us to do.
I think it's so important that people really know where they live and where the people have, what the people have done to make the community what it is, and we can never start too young to help young people really get an appreciation for some of the, just unique aspects of this area and what people have done over the years and how that's been preserved.
Again, volunteer opportunities, gwbhs.org, or join them at the museum Wednesday, December 11th at 7 o'clock p.m. A great opportunity to engage into local history, learn a little bit about your community, and help preserve our stories of today for our community of the future as well. A great way to give back to the community. We are in the holiday season, and as the holidays approach, we look for ways to show our love to our loved ones and our friends and our family, but also ways to give back to those who maybe don't have those kinds of opportunities to receive gifts and the love from their own here in our community and beyond. In the West Bloomfield Fire Department, they are participating for the 11th year, collecting new toys to provide to families across our local area in partnership with Toys for Tots. Leading the charge on that from the West Bloomfield Fire Department is Sergeant Chris Mars with us now on the Splash Live. Thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Glad to have you on to talk about this because this is the 11th annual Toys for Tots drive with the West Bloomfield Fire Department. You got distribution areas throughout the Greater West Bloomfield community at this time. Take us through this drive, what you're looking for, and why the fire department is doing this again for now the 11th year.
Well, just some history of it. I've had friends in the fire department and other departments in the area and down by where I live that have done Toys for Tots for many years, and it's always been very successful. I didn't really see too many programs out in West Bloomfield. There are businesses here and there that are scattered that do it, but I thought it'd be a great idea to have the fire department start a campaign collection, and in 2013 is what our first year was, and it's been great. Every year has been bigger and bigger, and the community is showing its commitment to each other and helping each other out. It's been fantastic every year.
And we know those that are familiar with Toys for Tots know that they're distributing gifts to children all throughout Metro Detroit and beyond during the holiday season, giving them that gift of love and those gifts that maybe they're seeing other kids receiving, and for reasons completely out of their control, they may not be able to experience themselves. But from here in Greater West Bloomfield, what have you seen as be sort of the driving force behind this over the years, and especially as it has grown, as you said, over these last 11 years, and the participation has been there from our community?
I just think the more people that are aware of families in the area that might need help, the more community comes together to just start giving and being kind and to help each other out. That's what it's all about. With Toys for Tots is just helping people who might be in a less fortunate situation this year or in years past. I just think the more people that see and give, and the more feedback we give about how great this is for our community, the more people give, and it's been very generous. The toys stay in Oakland County, but more so for us, they will stay in the Greater West Bloomfield area for families of all faiths to be able to receive gifts this year for children, all the way from babies all the way to teens.
And we know we have a very giving community here that engages with our local organizations during the holiday season. We think about groups like the Optimist Clubs in Keego Harbor and West Bloomfield, the Jacket Club in Keego Harbor that does a lot of these sort of efforts and expands that out to food and to groceries and to other necessities this holiday season. Our community gives back to itself and to others when they're in their times of need. And so if people want to engage in this, they want to donate these toys, what are you looking for this year, and where can people make these donations?
Toys for Tots always requests new unopened toys. They request no stuffed animals, but they will accept them, but they prefer not stuffed animal toys. Stuff anywhere from babies all the way through teens. A lot of the times teens seem to be the ones that are most forgotten. They'll have the less opportunity to receive toys and crafts and games and that kind of thing. They also ask that there is no weapon type toys, no guns or swords or anything like that. But you can drop them off at West Bloomfield Fire Station 1 at 4601 Orchard Lake Road by the high school. You can drop it off at Fire Station 5 at 5425 West Maple Road. And you can also drop off in the lobby of Town Hall on Walnut Lake Road.
And these distributions, these drop-offs will continue to happen all throughout the coming weeks here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. So those 3 different drop-off locations gives you some options and different times of day that you can drop off these toys. And again, as he had said, they're looking for new toys in these cases. And if you can limit them to not being stuffed animals or anything that's a toy weapon, that is very much appreciated. Chris Mars is the coordinator for the 11th annual Toys for Tots Drive at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. You can learn more information on this on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department for even more and to get those exact locations of this. So Chris, having been involved for this for the 11 years that this drive's been ongoing and seeing not only the fervor from the community to provide these gifts to kids during the holiday season, what's the reaction been like? What's the response been like from both the organization that you're donating to, Toys for Tots, and ultimately those down the line that are going to be having their kids receive these gifts during the holidays?
That's been very receptive. Toys for Tots, Oakland County, the Southwest area, they've saw a need for this area, and they're very appreciative of our collection. And our collection has actually spawned other collection sites, different departments in the Southwest Oakland County area. It's been very receptive. The fire department has seen the increase in toys over the years, and we've got feedback from families in the area that show just great appreciation for what this means to them, and how if this drive wasn't started in this area, they may not have had a great holiday for their families. So overall, it's been very receptive.
And as a firefighter, as someone that is heavily involved in the community, that sees every corner of Greater West Bloomfield and interacts with all different areas of our community, why is an effort like this important for you and for your fellow firefighters and paramedics here in Greater West Bloomfield?
It's just kind of natural for what we do as firefighters, paramedics. We love to help out our community. We love to see people succeed. We love just to overall bring joy and help people and when they're in their worst situation or they're very down. So it's just kind of a natural progression for what we do from fire and EMS to giving back to the community.
Chris Mars is with us from the West Bloomfield Fire Department, who is the lead coordinator on their 11th annual Toys for Tots toy drive with distributions at fire stations 1 and 5, as well as West Bloomfield Town Hall. Chris, before we let you go, anything else that people should know about this drive or any other information that may be helpful as you put forth this effort for the 11th consecutive year?
Not too much. We also accept Toys for Tots accepts checks written out to Marine Corps Toys for Tots Foundation if you so choose to write a check as opposed to donating a toy. Those can be dropped off at any of the locations, and the contacts there have been instructed to forward those checks to me. Then I will forward them on to Toys for Tots Southwest Oakland County.
Well, we appreciate your time and, of course, the effort that you're putting in to help provide a little bit of love to the kids in our community, and those gifts that they're seeing get distributed to all of our different, all their classmates and everyone else and their peers, and now they get a little bit of that love during the holiday season as well. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
More information on the Toys for Tots Drive can be found on wbtownship.org as well as on the West Bloomfield Fire Department's Facebook page. Keep up to date for updates, facebook.com/WB Fire Department. Again, those drop-off locations as we speak: Fire Station number 1 on Orchard Lake Road, Fire Station number 5 on West Maple Road, and then, of course, West Bloomfield Town Hall, just up the street from us at their complex on Walnut Lake Road as well. Great way to get involved this holiday season, give back, and help out the kids. That's what this holiday season is all about, and that's what makes the end of the year always seem so magical in Greater West Bloomfield and beyond. West Bloomfield Parks and their team, of course, always trying to help us protect our environment, but this season also helping you protect your pocketbook as well. This time of the year, it's getting colder outside, so we get cooped up inside. We try to keep ourselves warm by upping the heat and by using other devices like space heaters. But when we're out of the home, we're using a lot of energy as well. Their green dream for November is to unplug those unused devices. It helps to reduce the strain on our energy system, and it's much more efficient altogether. Energy usage is on the rise because of course, the temperature decreases and more people spending time indoors and with their heating devices and more, and that those unplugged devices can account for up to 10% of your overall electricity output in your home. That's a lot of money going on to your electrical bill every month. So those coffee makers, maybe you got a detached microwave that you're using in your home. And look, if you're out at work, you're out and about in the community, you're having fun, you're going to all these different events, you're not using that stuff, and it can be unplugged with no impact on the device, but a big impact on your electrical bill and our environment. So many great helpful tips from our friends over at West Bloomfield Parks as part of their Green Dream, helping you conserve energy, save some money, and protect our beautiful local ecosystems here in Greater West Bloomfield. More information and helpful tips on Facebook at WB Parks, or get in contact with the team over there for even more helpful conservation tips, wbparks.org. In the season of giving, many in our community looking to make big meals for the Thanksgiving holiday, and others as we head into December. For others, they're looking for their next meal every single day and may not know where that's going to come from. But Spirit of Grace Church in West Bloomfield is on the case and wants to help people in our community through their diabetic food pantry and their blessing boxes, and they're asking for your help with donated items. They're looking for non-perishable foods, especially at this time, canned vegetables, soups, and pastas, as well as peanut butter and other non-perishable food items that can be dropped off at their church, 2399 Figa Avenue, as well. And you can even find more information on their website at spiritofgrace.church. They have a variety of different times that they will be accepting those drop-offs, including before and after their weekend services. So if you want to find more information about specifics of what they're looking for, how you can drop this off, other ways that you can help in this effort for their blessing boxes and their diabetic food pantry in the future, 248-338-3505. Again, that phone number, 248-338-3505. You can also visit them on Facebook at Spirit O Grace for more information. That's our show for this edition of the Splash Live. We thank you for tuning in. Encourage you to always keep up to date with us on demand on CivicCenterTV.com, as well as on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, as well as YouTube, Instagram, and X at Civic Center TV. For our entire crew, Calvin Brown, Jake Schaff, and Kevin McIntosh, I'm Tyler Kieft. Thanks for tuning in to the Splash Live.